previous discussion with Tita Ida, Lucila, and Tita Lucenia, we touched more about that. And that's why I'm going on, moving forward to our next question, because during that conversation, Tita Ida mentioned that there are positive and negative traits and attitudes Filipinos have acquired through the ongoing effects of colonialism. And I think that was mentioned, crowd mentality among Filipinos. And then the Tita Lucenia had also proposed a challenge to the Filipino community. And I think Mia has also given us a challenge as well. And for the next generation to reinvent the Filipino identity, right? So considering these challenges that the Filipino community faces, how could these challenges push us to reinvent the Filipino identity and create a shift to highlight our positive characteristics and values, strengthen our relationship with one another, as you mentioned, in the community, and create a better understanding as what we're doing here, and creating a better understanding, talking to one another, and maybe in a sentence or in a statement, what does being Filipino mean to you, and what would this reinvented Filipino identity to be like?
I think that there needs to be a lot more conversations about what we think our culture has done well, but also pointing out the flaws that exist in it, and being okay being uncomfortable with these conversations, because it's hard. You have to completely analyze why you think this way, and you have to change your mindset and your perspective, which is hard, especially when it's what you've grown up in, right? But I think being Filipino means resilience, and it means a willingness to learn and better ourselves. Because from my parents, what I see from them is that they are always able to bounce back from anything. They are the strongest people I've known, I will ever know, really. But what I also see from them is that they are always curious. They want to learn more, and they will do anything to learn more as long as it betters them. And I think that's what being Filipino is. We always want to be better.
All right, thank you very much, Nicole, for that. It's thank you for sharing your experiences, and also for giving your your statement for our question. So I guess this will be our last. You could give a statement, our last statement for this question. I'll just I'll read it again. So, what does being a Filipino mean to you, and what would this reinvented Filipino identity be like? So maybe just statement or a phrase. So I'll just start maybe with Tita Lucy.
I've been here so long. It really, to me, back then, Filipinos were trying to outdo each other. I've been to that culture. I've been to that phase, right? And as I grew older and being here in Edmonton longer, have already started to ignore, and I just do my thing, you do your thing, and as long as we eat the same thing anyways. So it's because I've been through that phase, that stage when everybody had the bigger houses and they had the nice cars to drive and everything, and then if you see them in the malls, they just kind of pull you down, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever, like right now, I don't care.
So you just
Whatever.
just wanted to sit back and iwasan yung mga chismis, kumbaga.
Yeah, kasi you know what? In Before we used to say, okay, hello, how are you? Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
In the malls, this Filipino newly, hindi ko naman nilalahat, pero maraming bagong dating, especially mga OFWs before. They don't look at you and smirk at you like, who are you, kind of thing. So kaya you build this attitude na I just do whatever I want
Mhm.
and stick with the friends that I have
Mhm.
and everything. Kaya ngayon, like us, yun lang mga nasa seniors namin. Meron din mga seniors na iba din ang attitude. So, you just kind of stay away from them and you just go with the other seniors na comfortable ka. Kasi, I mean, enough is enough already.
Right, right. Yeah. So you've learned a lot. And you try to
Yeah,
be more
kasi
try to be more
you've
positive.
learned a lot. You've been here long enough.
Yeah.
Chismis ng chismis. Wala naman nagagawa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Gaya nitong epic na building.
Mhm.
Sinasabi ko dun sa mga karamihan, like every time dun sa mga seniors namin, we should help, we should ganyan-ganyan. Sasabi nila, ay nako, paano ka tutulong dyan? Mamaya niyan. Like, ganun bang attitude?
Yeah, yeah. So for
Kaya, iba eh.
yeah. Just maybe one last lang. So ano ba yung in a statement? Ano ba yung challenge mo sa amin na mga like for us younger generation?
Hindi, alam mo, yung challenge sa younger generation, if you can, kasi naririnig ko yung mga challenge, yung mga nafe-feel ninyo ngayon,
Mhm.
siguro have a more involvement yung mga bata
Mhm.
dito sa at saka let them be aware of ano yung mga grupo na nang nangyayari ganyan around dito sa Edmonton. Kasi I have one apo ha, and he's not involved in anything. Kasi nga, yung parents, they're working hard. Yun ang problema pati. Parents are working hard. They don't have time to bring their kids to any of the groups,
Right.
kung ano man. Ayun ang talagang issue.
That's good.
Pero kung sana merong, lalo na kayo, mga bata pa kayo, kung ano ninyo yung mga, sasali ninyo mga ibang mga bata. Kasi ang dami naman ninyong grupo, kung may isasali ninyo siguro yung karamihan ng mga bata, maski na 50% yung mga bata na walang parents na magdra-drive sa kanila, that would be good.
Right. Well taken po. So that's the awareness and collaboration piece.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So I'll just go ahead. Just you just be quick. It's maybe one statement and maybe a sentence would do. So I'll start with Adriel.
I guess just to say things quickly here, I think I'm starting to see that we're trying to change the Philippine identity, because what I see here is that we're setting aside our differences. We're getting over that crab mentality state. And we see that uniting together does more for us. I say that now being Filipino is that you're able to uplift others and embrace the heritage of the Filipino community, and that you're able to just express it in your own way.
Thank you very much, Adriel. And for Kristina.
I think the idea of, I might be butchering the pronunciation, pakikipagkapwa, the idea of things being interconnected, whether to other people, other Filipinos, other cultures, nature, the universe. It's somehow going back to the roots, right? And through the language, you see a lot of lessons. And having learned so much about other indigenous cultures, I think we really need to start exploring that history, that culture, those ideas. Because idea of Pakikipakapwa is, there's an indigenous side of things, but also all the cultures that have influenced the Philippines, whether it's the Chinese, the Spanish, the Arabs, the Americans even, they influence our culture, but we can't forget our roots. We can't just continue living just to keep making more money to get better, like big houses, that sort of thing. We have to help each other, and remember where we come from. So I think that's what the idea of Filipino is, and that's what's going to help improve mental health in the community too.
Nakikipagkapwa. Thank you. Thank you for that. And for Panjo.
Oh, for me, I think it's to try. Like Adriel said, like he's trying to speak Tagalog, right? And then we should all try to collaborate. And this is what we're doing too, right? So um, to I don't I won't say erase, but to lower down the crab mentality, right? We should try and collaborate, try um, learning our own culture, right? From the bad to the good, we should just try.
All right. Thank you very much, Panjo. And lastly, and like very quickly lang, Mia. So, what does a Filipino mean to you, and what would you invent like a Filipino identity to be like?
Oh, I totally agree with Nicole. Filipinos are resilient. Even after this pandemic, everyone will die, but we will survive. That's how it is. We could live eating whatever it is, but none of the other cultures would do. My only challenge and hope for the next generation is that you just pass it forward. Just pay it forward. Whatever you learn from the past, just whether it's good or bad, just teach your children or future kids, or your grandchildren that Filipinos, our heritage is something to be proud of. Even if you compare to any other culture, none of them has experienced what we have experienced, like our um, uh, great grandfathers or so. Just continue to collaborate, and then I think that we're doing good uh, in our own little way. So uh, I think this generation has a better future than anyone else.
All right.
So that's my only hope.
All right.
And also,
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't if we could revise the Philippine national anthem, it says, "Ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo, to die for you, for Philippines." No, it's to live for
Mhm.
and leave a legacy, a good legacy behind. That's what matters.
All right. That's great. So to live and to survive, not just survive but to thrive, I guess, for all the Filipinos who are here. And yeah, and thank you very much for sharing and taking the time to have with us. So yeah, so go ahead, April.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone. That was such a great conversation, and I've learned so much from that. And this is only the beginning of more open conversations about mental health, our challenges, and identity within the Filipino community.
That was a great conversation, and I've learned a lot, especially in our collective community efforts, April, and as what we know as Bayanihan, right? And also seeing our elders step up to listen to our younger generation.
Yeah, and it's amazing to see also the younger generation and elders engaging and learning from each other to encourage all of us to build more understanding between one another, and listening to our stories of resiliency and learning from each other is crucial for us to move forward as a community and find importance in caring for all of our mental health and well-being.
And absolutely, and we invite everyone to be part of this conversation. So by leaving your comments below to help find answers and solutions to promote well-being for Filipino youth and all Filipino families. And so please join in our next episode as we continue to learn one another. And once again, I'm Cools, and I hope to see you then.
All right. And again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. This is April, and we'll see you at our next conversation. Thank you.